Neutral Zone Infraction / That Mediocre Sports Show. Or
Take one.
Mediocre Sports Show / Neutral Zone Infraction.
/ NFC South. Now, we weren't a huge fan of the AFC South when we did that one. We just felt like there's a lot of teams that aren't really going to be that competitive.
Irrelevant.
I have a feeling the NFC South is going to fall into that same thing. Not a lot of competitive teams. I know a lot of people are saying that the New Orleans Saints are pretty good, but I think they're going to come back to the pack.
I was going to say something. I was going to
Go for
say
it.
I think they're
What are you going to say?
irrelevant.
What do you have for us?
They're irrelevant.
I need to know.
But you need to know? Well, you need to shush. You're a woofer, as somebody would say. You know what? I was listening to you and thinking that, and then I got to thinking about something. And it went away. No. No. Panthers, Super Bowl. Saints, Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, long-time Super Bowl. And the Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl. In the last, with the exception of the Buccaneers, in the last 5 years, 10 years, those teams have all gone to the Super Bowl. And in the last 3 years, Falcons,
Panthers.
and Panthers. So I may be wrong on the word irrelevant. They might be very relevant. However, through their history, each one of these teams has sucked beyond suck. They suck so bad they blow.
It's a Spaceballs reference. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to start with the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. Who is your favorite player from the Atlanta Falcons? And go ahead, Sean. Who's your favorite player from the Atlanta?
Jeff Van Note. He was the center for the Falcons for about 17 years through the red helmet era. That makes it so some of you out there who aren't as intelligent as me can understand what era I'm talking about. I could have said the Steve Bartkowski era, and you wouldn't have known who that was. Now, I didn't mean to insult our listeners.
I'm going to say Brett Favre. That's my favorite Atlanta Falcon.
I think I said that earlier. That's messed up.
What?
You took that from me.
No, you didn't say Brett Favre was an Atlanta Falcon. I said he was a Minnesota Viking. I said I was going to name him as my favorite Minnesota Viking.
I did say that and I said Goldberg might be
my favorite Atlanta. Well, yeah.
Because he's a wrestler and he did play with the Falcons.
That's a good pick, though, for favorite.
Go ahead.
But it's like, no. The problem with the Atlanta Falcons is when they were good and they had like Jamal Anderson and guys like that.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I love Deion Sanders.
He
was amazing.
I'll stop naming them so you can come up with it on your own.
Chris Dolman.
He never played for that was a Viking.
He was a Viking, but then I think he went to the Falcons. We're going to have to go to the phone.
If he did, it would be during their black...
It would be, because I remember Dolman Boer and because we're going to
It would be during their Jerry Glanville black helmet era.
And let's face it, Jerry Glanville could also qualify as a favorite Falcon because Glanville was awesome.
I like Jerry Glanville.
Oh, Glanville was I think he's still one of my favorite coaches of all time.
Oh, yes, he is. I dig and you know what? He brought the, if I may. Ow.
If I may.
I'm not doing a very good job.
You're not doing a very good job. I'll just let you know Chris Dolman is older than you by only a year.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Well, then he's as old as his number. His number was 56.
He played for the Atlanta Falcons in 94 and 95.
They're at Jerry Glanville. So, you know what? You want him as your favorite?
I liked Dolman. I liked Dolman especially when he was with the Vikings, but when he went to the Falcons, I've always been a Dolman fan. I always thought he was one of the more underrated players on those defenses.
56.
Because John Randall got most of the attention.
As he should have.
And he should have. John Randall's amazing. But I always liked Dolman. Dolman.
So that gets you. Did we do players we loved and hated?
No, we haven't done our least favorite Falcons, and I got two.
Well, maybe I should think.
One of them makes me laugh. One of them pisses me off.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and do it.
Okay, the first one I'm going to say is Gerald Riggs. People are out there going, Gerald Riggs? What's a Gerald Riggs? I'm going to tell you what Gerald Riggs is. Gerald Riggs was a running back for the Atlanta Falcons. He was on pace to have a 1,000-yard season.
I think you got...
He ran the ball. He got his 1,000 yards.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then on the next play, he lost like 10 yards, and he ended up with less than 1,000 yards.
And he didn't get it. That is awesome.
It's like, how do you go backwards? So, yeah, Gerald Riggs for being stupid. And then the other one happened to the Super Bowl in Denver Broncos. We were keeping them to a low point total. Tim Dwight took that kickoff or punt, took it all the way to the house, and it was like, no, the defense hadn't given up any points or given up 3, and then Tim Dwight takes it to the house. But I think it would have been the first Super Bowl where the opposing team did not score a touchdown.
Damn.
And it was like, oh, Tim
I
Dwight.
do remember that,
And you know who coached those teams? Rick Dennison. He was the special teams coach at the time.
Wasn't he one of our defensive players in the 80s?
Rick Dennison was one of them. He played alongside like Bob Ryan and people like that.
I think it was Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan, yes. I apologize,
You know,
Mr.
in
Ryan.
the last... I cannot believe how bad your brain is getting.
That's okay.
I'm glad you're happy with it.
I'm fine with it.
Well,
What
every
I don't-
day's a new day.
What I don't remember will be because there's a lot of things I wish I could
I
forget.
shouldn't say your brain's bad. It's not. It's you do remember stuff. It's amazing. Maybe I'm rubbing off, so to speak.
Oh, thanks. Great, I'm catching some of your old.
Yeah. Well,
Man, all that gray right there, I catch it from him because this is where I sit. He sits to that side all the time. And
it gets worse. I'm not even gonna go into it.
Okay, so who's your least favorite Atlanta Falcon?
You know, it's rough because they but probably God, Jamal Russell, Jamal Anderson.
Jamal Anderson. That would have been another one that I would have kind of close on, but I hated the Dirty Bird. I really did. I just did not like that
If
dance.
you win the Super Bowl, the Dirty Bird is cool. If you lose the Super Bowl,
And the Denver defense basically smashes you into the ground.
yeah, I mean, it'd be like doing the Super Bowl shuffle, Chicago Bears, but they
Oh,
lose
the
the
icky
Super Bowl.
shuffle was I think everybody that scores a touchdown should have to do the icky shuffle.
I'm all with it. I liked Icky.
I did. Icky Woods was awesome.
Icky was cool. Okay, who's your next one?
Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
Now, this is a franchise that doesn't have a long history, so it's tough to dig into.
So our hate is short.
Our hate is short, and it's tough for me to really come up with a player that I hate. But I'm trying to remember. It was the linebacker that played for, I think he played for the Saints, and he went to the Carolina Panthers.
Mills?
Sam Mills. I always thought he was just a class act.
Oh, are you saying you hated him?
No, that's my favorite player. I
Oh,
always thought he
okay.
was.
I was gonna say, dude.
No, I always thought he was a class
I
act.
was gonna say, dude, he's dead. Don't be doing
another
that.
one. It's
Okay.
another one of those players. It's another one of those players where the other guy, Pat Swilling, got most of the attention.
Yeah.
But you knew that Pat Swilling couldn't do what he was doing without a guy like Sam Mills.
Sam Mills passed away the year that they went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Yeah, Sam Mills to me, just a class act, solid football player. And all defenses need a guy like a Sam Mills.
Oh.
They all need a Sam Mills. You got to have
that
a guy
Saints
like.
team was pretty good.
It was good.
If
but
it hadn't have been for the most mediocre team of all time, the 49ers, they might have had Super Bowls.
That's true. Absolutely.
Everything I say is true. I speak the truth. I am the voice of truth.
I am the voice of truth. You are the voice of the older generation.
That's right. I am my year is the last year of the baby boomer. They hate me. They hate us people because they don't consider us true baby boomers, but we are.
It's
And
like
we are the baby.
Unfortunately, I fall into Gen X. I get a
That's just
generic
like something
X.
you put on you for jock itch or something.
Gen X. That's what they call this. Generation X.
My wife
And it's
is
just like,
Generation X.
I don't like that name.
My wife is
I'd rather be called a millennial. At least millennial sounds cool. Millennial. It sounds, but Generation X. It's
There's
like,
only-
here's a generation. Oh, let's just put it. Solve for X. What's a Gen X person? Solve for X. And it's also that stupid thing Des Bryant would always do. Like that either.
There's only 4 teams in this division, so he's covering time. But are you over the little meltdown?
No, not really.
Denny Green?
Because there was a Generation Y as well.
I
I liked Denny Green.
I was just going to say there was a Generation Y that sucked.
Those poor people.
I was
think
just letting you do your coach rant like Denny Green and Jim Mora and
Yeah. That could be my coach rant.
Coach rant. Okay, so
Ranting
let's.
about
I forgot what
generation.
we were picking.
We were picking our least favorite players of the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, so as bad as I pick on your brain, mine is worse. Least favorite. Did I pick a favorite?
You did pick a favorite. Now I have 2, and they're
Who did
both
I pick?
quarterbacks. You picked your favorite. Oh, you didn't pick a favorite. You have not picked a favorite.
I don't think I have.
I think I was just ranting, and I took away your time to pick a favorite.
You did the Sam Mills thing, and I thought you were,
And Sam Mills was awesome.
and I thought you were picking him as your least favorite, and I was a little nervous, going, the dude, is dead. Let's not be doing that.
Great player. Great player.
Great
Love
player.
Sam Mills. Awesome.
Who do I? You know what? I almost said a player that didn't play for him. That would have been stupid.
We've done that before.
I have. I almost.
Chris Dolman. No.
You know, this guy I kind of liked. Steve Smith.
Yeah, you know what? I like Steve Smith too.
He's a little tiny, mean little ornery, in-your-face, jerk your face.
But he was a tough as nails player,
Yes, he
and
was.
he shouldn't have been able to do half the stuff he did. But he had
He's
so
like
much
the
heart.
Muggsy Bogues of
Yeah,
football.
he had so much heart. So much heart. Tough player.
So I think I'm going to go with him as my favorite. And least favorite, wow, might be Cam Newton, and I don't know why.
Well, if you're going to take Cam Newton, because I had two, so I will not name Cam Newton as mine because he was there. And Cam Newton only because he's still too much of a baby. He still pouts too much. You're a millionaire. You could buy so many humans over and over again and traffic them if you want.
Wow.
Allegedly. No, I'm kidding. He's never done anything like that. He's just got a lot of. He's actually, by what I hear, he's very good to people.
He's very nice.
He's just, I just don't like his on the field
Beats him
demeanor.
every
But off the
day.
field, I hear he's a wonderful person. Actually,
I've heard that.
but my least favorite is Kerry Collins. I have never liked Kerry Collins, ever.
Another reason to like Bill Romanowski. He broke his jaw.
So it's like
He
Kerry
broke
Collins.
Kerry Collins' jaw.
Kerry Collins, when he played for the Panthers, I just thought, well, why is he even there? I mean, do you guys not want to win? But I think they went to the Super Bowl with Kerry Collins at the helm.
They
or
didn't.
who was at the helm when they went to
It
the Super Bowl?
was that dude that starts with a D.
Oh, yeah, I think he...
Dumdruff. Dip Dum. Doofus.
I know, Delhomme. Jake Delhomme.
Doofus and Delhomme.
But it's like...
Pretty close.
Yeah, because Jake Delhomme, they actually thought he might be a pretty good quarterback. They actually gave him quite a bit of money, and then he never amounted to anything after it. I actually like Jake Delhomme.
Why?
I just did. I rooted for him, but
I might pick him as my least favorite.
go for it.
Jake.
I picked my Kerry Collins. You can pick Jake Delhomme, and then we can let Cam Newton be a good person off the field. It's just not somebody we like on the
I
field.
didn't like him because I was afraid he's going to beat us in the Super Bowl.
And I wasn't afraid Cam Newton was going to beat us.
So
in the
anyway,
Super Bowl.
I probably haven't picked anyone there, but I'm going to say it's a quarterback.
It's a quarterback. It's one of the quarterbacks. It's Kerry Collins, Jake Delhomme, or Cam Newton.
All three of them.
All three of them.
Okay,
All right, we're going to move on to the New Orleans Saints. Now, least favorite.
Oh, I got this.
You've got this for least
I went,
favorite.
bing!
Oh, he's going to say Drew Brees. Don't say Drew Brees. That's
No.
mean.
No.
Okay.
Ted Gregory.
That's a good one.
Were you going to pick that?
I wasn't even thinking that.
Ted Gregory.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking Ted. No, the Saints are one of those teams I've always felt bad for. I've always liked the Saints. But it's like the guy I want to name is the guy that intercepted, I'm going to need your help with this. The guy that intercepted Manning in the Super Bowl.
Was that Terry
Was it
Porter?
Porter? Yeah, Terry Porter.
How about the other guy, the guy that raped all the women and went to prison? Sharper.
Darren Sharper? That's a terrible person, too.
He's a terrible. You're so funny. I almost want to say you're cute. Your little eyes got big, and you're like, Darren
It's
Sharper?
like, what?
Darren Sharper's just a terrible person.
He's just terrible.
Yeah, he is terrible. He's the Bill Cosby of the NFL.
Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. There we go. Easy, least favorite, Darren Sharper.
Darren Sharper.
Holy smokes. Wow. I forgot about all... he did so many bad things. Such a terrible person. Darren Sharper, I hope
You're going to look back on all three of these shows and go, damn, that blue was on today.
You are. You're on fire today. You've been correcting a lot of my stuff. It's like you've been doing good
No,
today.
but you don't like those kind of shows.
No, I don't. But it's like, yeah, but you've actually been really on. I'm going to have to delete 3 shows today. All this effort for nothing.
Then put up that short one that I keep looking for. I look at it. I look for it every week. I'm like, maybe I'll put it up this
Okay,
week.
so who is your favorite New Orleans Saint?
Frank Watlet. Whoa.
You're going to have to explain that.
I'm going to explain it. I am from the little town of Abilene, Kansas.
Okay.
Just don't say it like you don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm not going into a I'm not going to tell you about the tourist.
There was one other person that came out of Abilene, Kansas, other than him.
Actually, there was a couple more. That one guy played for the Reds who was not in my class. Frank Watlett was went to K-State, and then he went to
I would have never expected this player.
number 44, the same as the Bosworth. But he did become a Saint, and I always thought that was pretty cool. And you could Google his play. I mean, that's kind of out there. I guess if I had to go with another one,
You don't have to.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
a good reason for why you like him.
It's
the only
mediocre.
famous person. It's the only person that's accomplished anything that came out of Kansas
well, before you
or
go,
Abilene, Kansas.
Okay, and now I have to disagree with you. Are you ready for this? You don't even know who else is there.
It's like, well, if it's you, then it's like
It
you
was
are,
the
you are-
president, Dwight David Eisenhower. The Eisenhower Center is there. I used to skateboard around it at night, around 11 o'clock at night, all around that thing. It was a long ride, too. Bunch of us did. But anyway, the Eisenhower Center with the library, and he's buried there. You can go and see his buriedness. Yeah, so that's two. When I stick my tongue out to you and meant it, I meant it. Cannot believe you would pick on my hometown. We had Wild Bill Hickok, badass sheriff. Here to
Okay. Are you done? Are you done? Are
There's
you
a whole
done
bunch-
ranting about? Are you done?
11 miles away, they had a...
11. So basically, you're just going to keep going out and call it all.
I'm just
part
saying,
of
Chapman,
Kansas.
Kansas, even a smaller town, had a Joe Engel who was a astronaut. Oh, yeah. I'm done.
Okay, my favorite player for the New Orleans Saints. Ready for this? It's a quarterback.
Archie Manning.
Bobby Hebert.
Boy, that's...
The Raging Cajun, Bobby Hebert. I don't know why, but to this day, I loved that quarterback.
Jim
man.
Everett might
It's
be
like-
my least favorite, too.
It's like Bobby Hebert was... I mean, he wasn't the greatest quarterback in the world. He wasn't the worst. He was just one of those guys that kind of floated in the middle. But when the New Orleans
Which
Saints
would
were
make
terrible,
him
they had he had
mediocre.
He was mediocre. Like us, that's why I identify with Bobby Hebert. And you should identify with him too.
I do.
Except he's younger than you, probably.
No, he's actually older. You'd be surprised how
I-
old... You'd be so surprised how old people are. There's a lot of old people out there.
Sitting next to one.
Who today can remember more than
Yeah,
you.
who could remember more than the younger one whose
Is there
brain
any
is
other teams?
fried? Yeah, there's still one more team after
Oh,
this.
good.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh, that's hot. I think I can make fire.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
Man, I'd love to go favor just being a coach, but not Gruden. It would be
Tony Dungy.
no. Tony Dungy's a good. They've had some good coaches. No. Going way back, 70s.
John McKay.
John McKay.
I think it's John McKay.
So many great quotes for. It's like, what'd you think about the execution of your team? He goes, I'm all for it.
You know, that's
we couldn't play offense, we couldn't play defense, but other than that, we're fine.
I like this where he goes, well, you know, we didn't play well on defense today, but we made up for it by not playing well on offense. I love that one.
It's like McKay was. McKay was the best.
Have you got anybody at all? Anyone, even if they suck? I don't know if he said that. But he was a good coach, but you know what? Thank God.
Well, he was on the sidelines ranting one time. He goes, well, we can't run the ball, we can't pass the ball, we can't kick, but other than that, we're perfect.
He was a guy that probably needed to be there at that time. And you know what?
Yeah, he did. He was the
I
perfect
actually
coach.
liked the creamsicle uniforms.
So do I.
I think
they were unique.
they were. And I liked it when Tampa Bay changed. I thought those were cool uniforms, off the subject. And now they've just gone crazy. I don't like all that brown. What the hell is all this brown? Don't do the brown.
That's like a throwback to the 70s. Remember, the 70s had a lot of
A
brown.
lot of brown.
A lot of brown and olive green and mustard yellow. I mean, there were some
So,
bad colors.
if I have to pick, did you pick McKay as your favorite?
No, I mean,
Go
my
ahead. You
favorite...
picked a bunch of
It's
other
like,
people you're not
I mean,
supposed to pick.
I liked John Lynch. I liked Brooks. I liked Warren Sapp. I liked... dang it, now I can't remember. His name was on the tip of my tongue. Warwick Dunn and the fullback, the big Allstott, Mike Allstott. I like those guys.
I think I said All Scott.
Yeah, it's Allstott.
Another great number. He had a good number.
So it's hard for me to pick a favorite because those
How about
Gruden
Keyshawn
Dungy,
Johnson?
those
Wasn't
Dungy.
he on there? Oh, I
Stop
stopped him
it.
in his tracks. I even said it stopped him in his tracks. Now he's going to be like, I know what's going to happen now. You're done.
I'm done because now I know. It's like I already knew who my least favorite player was, but you had to just bring him up in the middle of my favorite players.
I keep thinking of him as a Jet. I forgot, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting there going.
I think he started as a Buccaneer. He said, "Throw me the damn ball" as a Buccaneer.
I think he was a Jet first.
You might be right, but he was still overrated no matter where he was. He was the most. He's not even he was a mediocre receiver. He's not the greatest mediocre receiver though. He's not the greatest. Steve Watson was the greatest mediocre receiver.
And he got a Super Bowl ring. Not Steve Watson, but my favorite. Wow. You know, I did.
But if I'm going to pick one favorite, it's going to be Warren Sapp. Simeon Rice was good too.
Okay, I'll take Simeon Rice. And you know why I'm taking Simeon Rice? Because when my wife was getting her master's degree at the University of Illinois, on that team, Kevin Hardy, Simeon Rice. And I got to go watch them play. And they were pretty good.
They were pretty good. Simeon Rice was a really good defensive end.
He was a brute. But so I'm going to go Simeon Rice. I like that. And the name was different.
Yeah. Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp, good players.
Who's your least favorite?
Least favorite? Keyshawn Johnson.
You know who my least favorite is? He's the guy that helped them win the Super Bowl, the quarterback.
Brad Johnson?
Yep. Thank you. Brad Johnson. I didn't know who it was. Couldn't tell you who it was. I was thinking Trent Dilfer.
You know, and the better quarterback in that Super Bowl was actually Rich Gannon, but he played so badly because Gruden knew what he was going to do.
And that's another thing. I got to ask. Was that Super Bowl fixed?
No, it's just that Gruden knew what Gannon could and couldn't do, and you're talking about one of the best defenses ever in that Tampa Bay defense that did have Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, Brooks,
the Chicago Bears,
Barber, Rondé Barber was in that backfield. That was a great defense. Dungy built a great defense for Gruden.
And why did I call them the Chicago Bears? Because they won one Super Bowl and they should have won more.
They should have won more.
However, that was Dungy's team, not Gruden.
Dungy built that team. But Gruden got to take that team to that Super Bowl where he just happened to be facing a team he knew better than any other team.
Why would you use what the heck was his name? Not Cunningham.
What, the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't think
He's the C word. I think it was Cunningham. No, it wasn't Cunningham. It doesn't matter. I can still picture him. Why would you use a playbook that the other guy knew?
Well, and it's not necessarily the playbook, but it's just that John Gruden knew what Gannon could and couldn't do. So even if you don't know the playbook, you know the stuff that Gannon can and can't do. He worked with Gannon for a long time, and he knew the stuff he was capable of, and he knew his weaknesses. So he could take away his strengths and expose his weaknesses. So it didn't matter what the playbook was.
I picked the Raiders in that Super Bowl.
It's like I was rooting for Tampa Bay 100%.
And I lost miserably. You know what? I think Gruden is in over his head.
He might be. 10 years from not coaching and not being in the locker rooms and not
Dick
being...
Vermeil did it with like 20 years out of coaching.
And then you also got to remember Joe Gibbs went away and came back.
Yeah, but I mean, Vermeil, coming back almost 20 years and actually doing really well. But
winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just don't see, thankfully he did win one, because he won one for a lot of Eagles fans that I still wish didn't have one. But...
I'm so glad the Eagles won that one last year.
I know you are. A lot of people are. I'm like the only one who didn't.
Oh, you and Sean, that's now in Florida.
Yeah, well, he's a mediocre LPS. Can't believe he left. Good for you. You know what? You ought to do really well down there in Florida. You know why? Because they're all like 85 years old and they should be easy to stop. Excuse me, sir. Sir, please unhand me. Dude, you're walking away with a drill.
It's like actually just has to turn them around and say, you forgot to pay for that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go pay for this.
There's just no challenge for you. You're better than that. I thought you were better than that. Randy never did. I don't even think he liked you. No, I don't like you. So, having said that, I'll laugh if he actually ever sees
Oh, I guarantee he doesn't even know the show exists. But I think we're done. I think we've done our favorites and least favorites of every single team in the NFL, and some of it was so forced.
And if we didn't, it's because we forgot, and there's a lot of that.
There's
going
some
on.
players that I know I forgot that I had in my head. It's like, oh, that's my least favorite. And then he said something, and then I go, wait a minute, what was it again? And then it was just like, yeah, I'll just name a player I remember that I didn't like that much.
Yeah, I like John McKay.
John McKay was awesome.
That fishing hat.
That was just awesome.
They went 0-14. Do you know there's a player on the Miami Dolphins that actually was on the 72 team that went undefeated, and then was on that team that went defeated? And I think he's the only player in history that went from da-doot to da-doot.
That would be awful. Okay, now we're just rambling. So, with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, future, thanks for the freedom.